Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home. Okay, welcome everybody to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and I'm really excited for today's show. It's going to be a little bit different, so I think you'll enjoy it. But at first, I need to say, if you're not part of the Heal Your Hunger tribe, what's stopping you? Jump over to Facebook and be a part of the Heal Your Hunger tribe. Just type in Heal Your Hunger tribe, ask to join. If you're an emotional eater, if you struggle with food and weight, you got to join us in the tribe. It's just a beautiful place to be because you get support, and I have guest speakers and some cool, different events that you get invited to before anybody else. So jump over to the Heal Your Hunger tribe and continue the conversation that we start here today. So thank you for doing that. And if you are here for the first time, welcome. Really happy to have you to the show. This is where we talk about all things emotional eating. So, but beyond the food and the weight, okay? So we're really talking about the underlying causes. We're getting down to the real stuff, and that's what's so wonderful and delicious about it and so different. So thanks for joining us. And today I'm really excited. This came about, I literally just a couple days ago was speaking to one of my clients who had joined and just gone through. She actually finished the 10 weeks to freedom from emotional eating journey. And she just was so effusive in her experience about it and her joy about it. I said, you know what, like, I don't want to be the only one hearing this. Like, people need to hear this incredible experience. And I really just thought how cool it would be if she told it in her own words. And if you're out there and you're just struggling, struggling with food and trying to get a handle on it and not getting where you need to go, not losing the weight you want to lose, and just feeling kind of disconnected and hopeless, or at least frustrated and a little down on yourself. Well, maybe past experience can be helpful for you. And we're certainly going to share some tidbits that can help you right here and right now. So Pat, I'm so happy to have you here. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's super cool to have you here. And you have such a wonderful attitude. And I just was very happy when you came into the program because when you showed up on the Sunday night calls, you just had a really good attitude. You were into it, learning, asking questions. And of course, every person who's teaching any course loves the student who's really into it. So thank you for that. So what I want to do is just learn a little bit about you. Tell us about your food journey and sort of what it's been like for you leading up to taking this program.
Well, my earliest remember is when I was 13 years old, on 8th grade, and my mom sat me down, and no way am I trying to criticize my mom because she was a loving, caring mom, and she thought she was doing the right thing, and she said she had something she wanted to show me, and she had a calorie book, and she also had a picture of a girl in a magazine. And at the time, I really had no thought about that I was even heavier or overweight. I guess I was just oblivious of it. At that time, it had never really been an issue. She explained to me that girls needed to be very much aware of what they ate and that it would influence their dating. And she had a picture of a girl in a magazine, and she was at this party, and she was really heavy, and she was sitting there, and she said, "See how lonely she is?" And I have to say, God love her, from that day on, I really thought about what I ate. I counted calories, and it just taught a lifelong battle of, with food, craving for sweet stuff. And I have not been overweight all my life. There have been times when I have been overweight, but weight from that day forward was an issue. And I can honestly say every day I thought about what I put in my mouth, whether I should do it, how I looked, were my hips too big? And it's just been a constant battle. And of course, now the years have all passed, and family and grown and everything. And I kept praying that, I've been able to, I've had a career, I've had a good marriage, I have a family, but why in the world can I not get a handle on this eating? What is there about me? And it was such a struggle. And I began to think, well, is there something wrong with me? Why can't I get this under control? I've held good positions. And like I said, I'm, raised a family, but still this was just a thing that, I can't stay out of the cookies. If I'm upset, I eat. I'm obsessed with how you look. You don't feel like you measure up. And so I prayed really hard because it was kind of like a faith crisis, because I thought there's either one or two things. God just doesn't love me anymore, or I'm just not measuring up some way. And I really, really, really had prayed about that. And I firmly believe that life is a gift. It's precious and we should enjoy it. And I really feel that's our birthright. I really do.
I agree with you.
I feel that joy is part of us. And if you're not feeling that joy, then there's something wrong. And why can't I get a handle on this? And I got the little magazine. I've read the little magazine Daily Word golly, for years. I can't even remember when it started. And one of the months there, you had an article in there about your book. And that was the first time I heard about your book. And I ordered it right away from Amazon. And I read the book and I thought it was good. But there's a lot, you can read a book, but that's not the same as being part of the program. And I tried to do it on my own and I thought it all made sense. I did go on your website and, took the test, and I didn't match all the boxes by any means, but a lot of them I did. But boy, I relate. I could see myself on every one of those pages in some way or another. And it gave me a real sense of, maybe I'm not so crazy after all. There are other people that have these issues. There are other people that have these issues with food. And it began, it was very good, but it was a struggle to try to do by myself. I just could not do it by myself. But to be real honest with you, I just thought, this is silly. I ought to be able to read this book. I'm not a stupid person and handle this, And so, but I went ahead after Christmas, having tons of company here and lots of food, and totally not be. It was just, stress. You take it out on food, and and it was a happy time. But you don't just eat when you're sad. You eat when you're happy.
Right.
You eat when you're excited about him and company. I mean, it's just your go. It was my go. I don't mean everybody, but it was my go-to thing for things. And then you go and you feel so awful. And you feel so unworthy and just really, really down. So I went ahead and I joined took the 10-week online course. And oh my goodness, I just could not wait to get through those modules because they were so powerful. And I used to sit here with a notebook and I pause and stop and write it down and pause and stop, because it was such a healthy program. And it helped me in so many other areas. And it's so authentic, and it helps you be more authentic, and it makes you be able to be a better person so that you can carry on the kind of life that you want to be. And for the first time, I didn't feel so worthless. And I felt like, and I just really wanted to weep, because I felt like, well, God has not left me out there alone. He has given me something that I can do. And the tools, that you have. Now, no way am I perfected any of that, and no way have I been able to do it all. But there's a roadmap. There's a light. There's a way to go. There is, I asked you questions about, well, what do you do when you binge? And you were so good about answering it. And I always did pray and do the writing. Not writing, the praying and the
Walking.
Yeah, because I've always been a walker. Love to walk, and it has always been my go-to thing for tension. And the reading, I have from Unity and from my religion and everything, I've always done a lot of spiritual reading, and it's always been food for my soul. But there was still this hole there, this one block. There was a block, something missing there that I just couldn't put it all together. I don't want to anywhere appear like I'm a altogether person, because I'm not. But at least
don't worry about that. None of us are perfect at any of this stuff, and the battle with food, there's no cure. It's really just healing, increased healing on a daily basis.
Right. But there's a place to go. There's a way to do. And one of the things I really struggled with at first, and I was so impressed, you sent me a couple emails back, was the writing. I had a really hard time with the writing at first. And now it's such a gift, and I'm not afraid to write anything anymore. And it puts clarity to things. And so it's like a bud, and it just keeps opening up, and or it's like walking through a waterfall,
Yeah.
and just being drenched and being able to come out and just get, into the sunlight, and so it makes the journey, it's kind of what you hoped that, that there, I think problems are gifts in disguise,
Mhm.
because you learn to work through them. And I've always been kind of a pragmatic person, but this was just something I could never find an answer for. I could never find out. I'd been to Overeaters Anonymous meetings. I'd been to Weight Watchers meetings, wonderful people there, people that I really admire, but it didn't ever get at the heart of what the problem was.
Yeah,
But I've also,
that was my experience too.
yeah.
As much good information as I gained, it didn't change actually my relationship with food.
Yeah, and the other thing that, like last night on the Sunday night call, Kim did it, and she was talking about, and I'm paraphrasing here, the giftedness. We as overeaters, we do emotional overeaters, we do feel more, but that's a gift too, because we enjoy the good stuff so much better too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You do, but
Yeah.
but I find myself, still, overreacting to things and stuff. But I pull myself back and say, now, take a minute here. You've got to. This is something that you can, and your podcasts and all your things have been so beneficial. And it's just like, it's exciting. It's a journey, it's an adventure, and it's joyful. I don't like to be involved in things that are sad or gloomy. There's too much of that we have to go through anyway. We've all lost loved ones. We all have dear friends that are going through things. So the part of our life that we do have control over, I think you have to seek the joy, because you can't be there for anybody else if you can't be joyful within yourself.
Mm.
And so, it's just been really, a pure gift for me. It really, really has been. So.
So beautiful to hear you. So talk to me about how your relationship with food, like what it was like before and what it's like now.
Well, I still, the 3 meal magic is really, really good. I was always a really good breakfast eater, and I would eat dinner, but then I didn't eat anything in between. I mean, I did eat in between. It was just grazing.
Yeah.
I'm still very much struggling and trying to get a stable middle meal in there in the day. I'm very blessed to have a very full life. And so I'm not used to eating, but then if I don't, then I just dive, I hit that, I have to have a good, healthy middle meal. And so that's an area that I'm really working on, but I do like the limits of, you don't have to think about it in between time. It's here, and then you just put it out of your mind, and then it's here, and then you put it out of your mind, and then it's here, and you put it out of your mind.
Yeah, it's no longer just ongoing eating.
Exactly. And what am I going to eat here? But I am still, one area that I hope, as I'm going to level 2, I'm hoping my coach can kind of help me with that middle of the day, to get that in order better. I'm working with it, but I have some challenge. I'm really having some challenges there though. But I do like the part that you just don't think about it until it's like if you have something you're going to choose not to worry about. I'll worry, like in Gone with the Wind, she goes, "Oh, I'll worry about it tomorrow."
Yeah.
So I try to, eat my morning meal, and then, then you don't worry about it till till the next time. But you do have to, like I said, I have work to do with that middle of the day one. So.
Well, but in terms of the binging,
Oh yeah, no, that is, now I can't say I haven't gotten into the cookies or anything at all, but it's so much better, so much better. And, when you're on the calls and other people are sharing their challenges, very seldom is somebody having a challenge that I can't relate to. I mean, it's
yeah,
like, oh yeah, I've done that too, and, so, yeah, no, I haven't had any of that, where you're going to go someplace and you just eat, or you come home and you just eat. I don't have any of that anymore. I can honestly say I haven't had that. Have I
that's
wanted to do it? Oh yes. So.
and so what do you think has helped you not now?
Well, I guess, I think one of the things that's helped is the meditation, because, it and I can't say, that is still, thoughts pop in and out constantly, but somehow or other, it just makes you more aware and more grounded. And so, and one of the times that I meditate is in the afternoon before my evening meal. And that's usually the time when I'm just in the refrigerator or pulling things out or doing things. And I don't do that anymore, because, the only thing I can really attribute that to is probably the meditation. And there's just one really quick thing I wanted to share about meditation, because I know so many times people struggle with that. And I do have a number of things here. I had not meditated before this, but the one thing that was in my reading today, it said, when you start to meditate, wait silently as if a great teacher were about to whisper to you the answer to some important question. Wait receptively as if you expect a delightful feeling to emerge from within you. You may find it helpful to, formulate and mentally or vocally affirm your attitude, like, God, I'm accepting your guidance. And I just found that really, really touching.
That's sweet. That's so sweet. Now let's talk about your husband, because he's like, seems to be a big supporter of
He
this.
is.
And why
He is.
why do you think that is?
Oh, well, I think because he loves me. But I think the other thing is, he said he can see a real difference in my attitude. And we've been married. We just celebrated our 52nd wedding anniversary.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I've been very blessed. We've been, no marriage is perfect, don't get me wrong, but it's been good years, very good years. And I always like that saying, come grow old with me, the best is yet to come. I think that's Browning. I don't know who, but he's been very supportive of, we pray together at night. And he said that, I'm so much calmer and happier. And I don't seem to be so stressed about things, about, is this the right thing to do, or is this not the right thing to do? He said, I'm just so much happier, Not that I'm not an unhappy person. I don't want to say that, but he said calmer, and I don't fret as much about it. So
it is so beautiful and so important, because, we don't realize, when we're in the food and we're in the hell of emotional eating, we don't realize the impact we have on the people around us. We think, it's just an internal struggle, and my appearance in the outside, the way I show up in the world is, it's good enough. Nobody's taking issue with me, but we don't realize that they do feel our energy when we're in that self-hating place. It has an impact on everybody.
Yeah. And I've always been very open with him. He knows about my struggles with food and everything. And he's always encouraged me. And, whether I was going to Weight Watchers or Overeaters and he always encouraged and was always a support there for me. And he always told me, you're making a bigger deal out of this. You really don't look as bad as you think you do. So he's always, I have to say, he's always been my knight, and he's always been very supportive, and I feel very, very blessed to have always had that. So
yeah, you're very lucky, but so nice that he's reaping the benefits of this program as well.
Well, I know, I think that is true. I know. I think he said, oh yes, because when I wanted to go to level, we can't afford not to do this.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Any words of encouragement for somebody? Because I know I get emails from people all the time who are like, oh, I want to do this, but I'm on the fence. And it's not like it's a really expensive program either, but I think it's more people are afraid to say yes. They're afraid it's not going to work because they've been through so many programs that haven't worked. And then they're just, they're afraid to say yes themselves. So if you have any encouragement for them, what would you say?
I don't know. I really prayed about it an awful lot. I really did. And I think I even put into you an email, a little article or whatever I'd read from one of them, and I don't have it right here in front of me, but it really, really spoke to me. And it was something to the effect that you can read and study so much, but you have to come to the point where you say yes. And it was, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something to that. And I really felt that spoke to me. Number one, I felt, I feel like we're all called to be good stewards of the gifts that God give us. And so, there is, I think for all of us, we're all in different places, but there is a financial question there, to do this, and everybody's circumstances are different, and I'm not trying to be judgmental. And so for me, that was a big barrier to come around that. But the other thing is that was really a driving force with me is that life is so precious. And every day I just didn't want to waste it. And this constant turmoil, it just felt like, there had to be, I couldn't believe that a loving, caring God would want you to be this stressed day in and day out and day in and day out and day in. And when you were honestly, deeply trying to do better, there had to be another way, And through the program and through the meditation and through the writing and through the reading, it's just like it opens everything up. It just is opening. It's like I keep thinking of a flower opening up, and so, it is I don't know if that answers
Sweetie,
your question.
that makes, yes, you answer the question. And you are that beautiful flower that has opened up, and so much joy coming out of you. And I thank you so much for your courage. I know this is not something you normally do, come and talk about yourself and your situation and on a podcast, but I really appreciate your taking the time and being courageous enough to do that. And you've shared so many beautiful pearls here. And I can't help but think that somebody will be encouraged to, finally say yes to themselves and experience what this has to offer, the 10 weeks to freedom. And I thank you for all that you put into it and all that you're sharing about it.
Well, I want to thank you because you're such a joy. You really are a joy. And, you are on those modules, you just put it all out there. You're very humble and you just share everything and, vulnerable and everything. And that takes true courage too. And that I think gave me a sense of, my gosh, if she can do this and cares that much about all of us, it's a good thing. So.
Well, bless you so much, Pat. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah. And for everybody listening, 10 Weeks to Freedom from Emotional Eating is a 10-week journey of completely, digging into the underlying causes and finally breaking free. It's not about food and weight. It's really about setting yourself up to heal at a deeper level, because God knows you've got lots of information about diet and exercise and nutrition and all that, but we got to go deeper in order to make that information useful to you on a daily basis. So you can go to 10weekstofreedom.com, actually spell out, or not spell out 10, just do, I think it's 10 as in 10, or just go to healyourhunger.com. And also feel free to jump over to the Heal Your Hunger tribe and comment about the show. So thank you so much. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next show. Take care.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.